Good morning. We're here with radio entrepreneurs at the home office of JED Insurance. And this morning, my co-host is Jonathan Friedman. Good
Hi,
morning,
John.
And we have as our guest Randy Walther of New England B2B CFO. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning. How are you doing?
So, Randy, I think you're probably a little bit aware our theme today is getting organized. So I thought, what more important than getting in the financial trenches and figuring out where a business is at?
Yep.
So, Randy, why don't you tell us a little bit about your practice?
Oh, okay. I work with privately held companies that are typically in the $5 to $70 million range in terms of revenues. And typically they're going through some sort of a transition or change of some sort, or just stuck in the neutral gear, if you will. So I work with them to build a plan and help them stick to that, so when they're ready to leave their business, they can get the most value out of the business that they're looking for.
So not really an outsource accounting, more the financial strategy.
That's correct. Yes, I work on the strategic level with the side by side with the business owner. Typically what I'll do, if a company doesn't necessarily have a good accounting financial structure in place, I'll help get that in place so they're doing it. But what I'm really doing is I'm trying to interpret the financial information. I'm trying to help them understand how their decisions impact the business from a profit standpoint and from a value standpoint.
So would a company that engages you typically not have a CFO, or sometimes they do have a CFO and you would serve as an adjunct to that from a strategic standpoint?
Yeah,
CFO?
Yeah, super CFO. It kind of depends. Typically, in the business the size that I work with, they don't have a CFO. Or if they have a CFO, the title may be a CFO, but they don't necessarily have the experience in dealing with the strategic. They probably came up through the accounting controller role and are very tactical, very technical in what they're doing. But as far as interpreting and looking at the cash management side of it and understanding, how to get the cash they need and, what's a good investment and evaluating those type of things, they may not necessarily have that expertise. So that's the role that I fill.
So it's interesting. We've been talking to other providers today and the theme of getting organized, and many of them in the financial world. And I find, and you talk about entrepreneurs or owners of small and mid-sized businesses, there's such a mindset around growth, and there's such a mindset around top line. I would imagine as a CFO, you're much more interested in bottom line. And I say to my clients all the time, wouldn't you rather be generating X as a bottom line and not worry about the top line? And it's amazing how I think in this culture, we're so oriented, and maybe it's the entrepreneur and sort of that, badge of honor. I'm a $100 million company. Well, if you're a $100 million company and making no money, I'd rather be a $50 million company making $10 million a year.
Right.
So do you find that exists a lot in your world, where people are so focused on top line and you come in and say, well, what's your profitability like?
Yeah. Yes and no. First of all, you have to have the top line or there will be no bottom line. So we focus on the top line as well. But yeah, the bottom line is very important, is in terms of, how it's building the value for the company. What is the owner able to take home at the end of the day? Without that, there isn't really anything in there. So that's how I help them work with that. I look through their expenses. I look through their process flow. I look through their inventory or service industry. I look at their utilization of their resources, and I try and evaluate whether or not they're being as efficient as they can. And that's how I help them improve that bottom line.